It's great to see you again, Paul.
It's a pleasure.
And this is a car that I've wanted to do. This is the Citroen SM. Tell us a bit about it.
Basically, it's Citroen's luxury car with a Maserati engine to compete with other two-door coupes of that period.
Yeah, so what sort of cars would it have been up against at the time, do you think?
UK-wise, it was competition to Jaguar coupes.
Yeah.
XJ6 coupes, Jensen's Interceptor, that sort of period car.
Now, it's produced between 1970 and 1975. What year model is this one?
This was manufactured 1971, first registered 1972.
Right. And the other thing about this car, which I didn't realise, was that they bought out Maserati.
That's correct, yeah.
And so they wanted to produce something which I wasn't aware of. There's a Citroen Maserati, and it was lovely. So what sort of size engine does it have in it?
This is 2.7 V6.
Right. Yeah. A good engine?
Yes, good, solid Maserati engine with plenty of go.
Right, yeah. So we're going out in a moment. We're going to have a feel of it and see what it's like. As you say, luxury is very much the key here. The seating inside is very luxurious, all the dials and everything. Tell us a bit about this interior.
Well, it's a very early single-spoke steering wheel, which is now the rage on modern-day cars. It has the nice oblong or oval dials, which are very space-agey.
Yeah, well, the whole look of it looks very space age, and it has some fantastic features. Let's talk about these headlights. Tell us about those.
The outer spotlights or headlamps do turn with the steering.
That's really modern for the day, isn't it?
Yes, very advanced, everybody. But of course, they did use that also on the Citroen DS.
Yeah, the Prius.
That was possibly the first one to be using that system.
Yeah, but in America, that had to change, didn't it? They had to remove the plastic covering at the front.
Yep.
And the headlights had to be open.
They had to be solid.
Yeah.
So they couldn't move at all because it was against their regulations.
Yeah. And tell us about the suspension, because that's very advanced for its time as well, wasn't it?
Again, that's developed from the DS. It's self-leveling suspension once it raises, and it drops when you turn the engine off after a period of time.
Which Rolls-Royce borrowed for a bit, didn't they? And then they developed their own version of it eventually over time. Yeah. So it had all these, interesting features about it. But this particular model, when did you pick it up?
I had this shipped over.
Right.
About 2 months ago.
Okay. And the chap that had it, he'd had it a while, hadn't he?
He'd had it nearly 40 years.
And this car also, nice thing about this car is it's been built for the Italian market. So it's got features on it which you don't get on your standard model.
That's
Can you tell us what they are?
On the front wings, it has indicator lights on the front wings, which is Italian specification by law. It has a different size number plates around on the front to fit these Italian size number plates, because otherwise they will be behind the glass if they're normal oblong Europeans. And on the rear, it has a different system for the rear light units for the number plates, because it has to have proper Italian square number plates.
So Paul, the SM name, there's lots of debate over that. What do you think it stands for?
I think it's just Series Maserati.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Citroen, it all went a bit pear-shaped after this car, didn't it? Because they went into bankruptcy. But a lot of that was based around the fact that this model was a bit expensive for the time because of the oil crisis,
It was that with the oil crisis, and also it was too much of a good competition to Peugeot.
Yeah,
who didn't have a luxury coupe of this size, and didn't like the competition, so they bought Citroen out.
Yeah. So again, Peugeot bought the company, so they bought Maserati, then they bought them out. Yeah. It's a shame, isn't it? It really was a shame. And you display this out the front, don't you, on the front of your barn here? This is our barn today. We're down at the barns with Paul. And it's out the front, so if anyone wants to come along and have a look at it, they're free to come down and have a look over it if they're interested in purchasing it.
Yeah, of course.
But what would be very nice now if we can get out and have a drive in it and see what it feels like as a drive, Let's go for it.
No problem at all.
So we're going to give you a demonstration of how this steering works. So Paul in a moment is going to take his hands off the wheel and show you. And there we go, it just centres itself. What sort of speed are we doing, Paul?
We're doing nearly 45.
Yeah.
As we're only allowed to do 50 here.
Exactly, we keep it within the law. And there you are, the wheel just centres again, which is brilliant. So you've seen it out on the road, the demonstration of the steering. Now we're going to have a look with it actually standing still. It gives you a really good idea. Paul's going to turn the wheel over to one side and then let go. And you see how it corrects itself? And he's going to turn it the other way. And it just corrects itself back in position with the headlights turning as well, which is brilliant. Today it's lovely weather, sitting in this lovely Citroen SM. You've even got in the back a Lucky Lira, which is placed conveniently in the middle console, giving luck to all those that drive the car. Now, if you're interested in this car, please contact us in the link below and we can get you in touch with Paul. But for now, see you next time down at the barns. And don't forget, as always, to like, comment and subscribe.